A very good morning to Puan Faima and my fellow friends. So we are here to present case study 1 in cloud computing. So me as Rina Shri and my other two team member is Shashmita and Rubini. So I'll be presenting one of the common reason why organizations migrate to the cloud computing is to reduce infrastructure. Find out what is cloud computing with cloud computing types and examples. So the down there is the types. So we have given what is the cloud computing. So it's the delivery of computing services over the internet to offer faster innovation, flexible resources, and economies of scale. So there are three types of cloud computing. So first is IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Gives user a cloud-based alternative to on-premises infrastructure so business can avoid investing in expensive on-site resources. Example like AWS EC2. Second is SaaS, software as a services. Makes software available to user over the internet, usually for a month subscription. Subscription fees, example is email server. Third is PaaS, platform as a services. Vendor provider hardware and software tool over the internet and people use these tools to develop application. PaaS users tend to be developers, example AWS Beanstalk. So I'll be continue doing describe 5 benefits of cloud computing. So there are 5 benefits: security, cost, performance, reliability, productivity. So I'll give each one explanation. So security, cloud computing offer a great security when any sensitive data has been lost. As the data stored in the system, it can be easily accessed even if something happens to the computer. We can even remotely wipe out data from the lost machines from avoiding it getting in wrong hands. Second is cost. Cost is services are very free for capital expenditure. There are no huge costs of hardware in cloud computing. Have to pay as you operate it based on your subscription plan. So we just have to pay for the subscription plan. Performance is since most services are provided on demand, you can have a huge amount of computing resources available in a short time with great ease and flexibility and without any expensive investment. These services allows us to free up memory and computational power on companies' individual computers. Reliability. The enhanced risk of data loss with cloud storage. The risk basically is to access all data is always available even in the event of a corporate device failure. Cloud services provide a data recovery procedure designed for every type of emergency scenario. Even on the cybersecurity front, cloud services provide can ensure unparalleled focus on in-house storage and sharing system. Last one is productivity. Reduce the time required to set up a local data center with different hardware and software configuration and a whole series of routine IT action. So I'll be describing visualization in cloud computing. There are 3 types of visualization. So first is compute. Compute is a technique of abstracting a physical machine into multiple virtual machine, VMs. The physical machine using its own hardware simulates or emulates other computer via storage and software. Storage visualization is a technique of abstracting physical storage into a logical storage for use by the processor. Storage visualization is known as memory visualization. The other form of storage visualization is a disk visualization. Lastly is network visualization. Is a technique of abstracting the physical network into one or more virtual network. As with VMs, we use a hypervision. In this case, hypervision create a virtual NIC or VNIC for each different VM. So that's all from me. I'll pass it to Shashmita.
Okay, next is associate 5 benefits of virtualization in cloud environment. So we have given 5 benefits with the explanation. So the first benefit is firewall and security. So as everyone knows, security is a major aspect IT professionals have to focus on. However, with virtual firewalls, access to your data is restricted at much lower cost as compared to traditional methods. Through virtualization, you get protected by virtual switch that protect all your data applications from harmful malware, viruses, and other cyber threats. Next is hassle-free transfer of data. So for that, there's two explanations we have given, which is can easily transfer data from physical storage to virtual server. Next is with a dedicated server and storage, it's quite easy to locate the required files and transfer them within no time. The third benefit is cost-effective strategy. And the explanation is virtualization is a great way to reduce operational costs. However, with all the data stored on virtual servers or clouds, there's hardly a need for physical systems or hardware. The fourth benefit is smoother IT operation. Okay, and the point is virtual networks help IT professionals become efficient and agile at work. These networks are easy to operate and process faster, reducing the effort and time required to work on them. Lastly is protection from system failure. And there's 4 points, which is virtualization lets you open the same work on another device. Store all your backup data through virtualization on cloud services or virtual networks and get easy access to it from any device. Next, apart from that, there are usually two servers working side by side, keeping all your data accessible. If one faces any problem, there is always available to avoid any interruption. So there's always another way for it. Okay. Okay, next is describe the following design and concept of Amazon Web Services infrastructure to support cloud computing. So there's three actually. First is AWS Global Infrastructure. Next is Foundation Services, and lastly is Platform Services. So for AWS Global Infrastructure, there's 5 points, and the first point is Amazon operates its infrastructure in different geographic locations around the world, design it as regions to achieve better availability and performance. Each region consists of multiple availability zones. An availability zone is a physical location within a region. It has one or more data centers distributed in different facilities. Each availability zone has its own power grid and network connection. Lastly, advantage of separating a region into zones has no effect on the other zones of the region. Secondly, there's foundation services, which is the foundation services offer fundamental IT service is computing, networking, and storage services. The compute services provide Lambda allows you to run code without providing or managing servers. And then networking services provide virtual private cloud, which is also known as VPC, to dedicate a portion of the Amazon resources, has a VPN for your organization. Storage services provide different storage options, that is block storage, file storage, and also object storage. Lastly is Elastic Block Store, or is also known as EBS, can be coupled with EC2 to provide elastic storage of block level volumes along with elastic processing. And the third service is platform services. AWS provides a wide range of platform services in the 4 categories, which is analytics, enterprise application, mobile services, and Internet of Things, which is also known as IoT. Okay, and there is the AWS platform services, where it's an image of AWS platform services. There's analytics, enterprise application, mobile services, Internet of Things. We have listed down some of the few things which is under analytics, which is business intelligence, data warehousing, machine learning, and so on. There's also enterprise application, which is desktop virtualization, email, calendars, document sharing, and feedback. Third is mobile services, which is app development and testing, API management, user identity and data synchronization, and also mobile usage analytics. And lastly is Internet of Things, which is device connection to the cloud software development, Git registry, device shadowing, which is also known as persistent state. And then lastly is device message transformation rule engine. Okay, next is, okay, credentials are used to verify who you are and whether you have permission to access certain resources. Explain root user and IAM credentials in Amazon Web Services, which is AWS. Okay, so this is for root user credentials. So the first point is the credentials of the account owner allow full access to all resources in the account. We can also use an AWS organization service control policy, which is also known as SCP, to limit the permissions of the root user. Next, because of this, we recommend to create an IAM, which is IAM, user with the administrator permissions to use for everyday AWS tasks and lock away the access key for the root user. Lastly, for example, only the root user can close your account. If you need to perform a task that requires the root user, sign in to the AWS Management Console using the email address and password of the root user. Next, I pass to Rubini. Thank you.
Thank you, Shashmita. Now I want to explain about IAM credential. The first point is can securely control access to AWS service and resource for user in your AWS account. For example, if you require administrator level permission, you can create an IAM user grant that user full access and then use those credentials to interact with AWS. So this is one of the benefit for the IAM credential users. Okay, the next point is if you need to modify or revoke your permission, you can delete or modify the policies that are associated with the IAM user. So this is one of the advantage for the IAM user person. Okay, the final is if you have multiple users that requires access to your AWS account, you can create unique credential for each user and define who has access to which resource. So this also one of the benefit for the IAM user. Okay, because of the multiple user can use multiple account and also they can access which resource they want to use. Okay. Next, I want to explain about find out how to perform creation of root user and IAM credential in AWS root user. Okay, now I want to uh, teach about how to log in the root user. Okay, first sign in the IAM console as the account owner by choosing root user and entering your AWS account email address. Okay. First, in your sign in step, you must choose the root user. After that, you must put your email address and click next. And then type the character seen in the image given for security purpose. So we must type the character we see in that image because it's for the security purpose for AWS account. Okay. Final is enter the password. Okay. But you must enter your correct password. Then only you can sign in and use your root user account. If not, means you cannot. If you forget PIN, you can click the forget password button and then you must have some steps to get your to set your password. Okay, next is I want to teach how to uh, use the IAM credential account. Sign in to the IAM console as the account owner by choosing IAM user and entering your account ID and then enter your IAM user name and password. In IAM user account, you must have account ID. So you must put your account ID and then you must put your username and finally you must put your correct password and then you must click sign in. After that you can use the IAM user account AWS. Okay, thank you. That's all from us.